Karl Popper, in his ecological criticism, says that thought is constituted of emotions. I take that to be a rephrasing of a phrase by Wordsworth in his poem, "The heart lead well," heart lead well, in which he says, it appeals to the people who have a thinking heart, a heart that thinks. This is what Popper says that a thought is constituted of emotions. That thought must not be made so abstract, so unreal, so virtual, as to be detached from the real world. And eco-criticism or nature writing tries to bring the two together, so that we achieve a fusion of the mind and body. The heart thinks, not the mind thinks, the heart thinks. Okay. Whitman is a good example, seems to me. Whitman is not characteristically known for his modesty, and yet, in one of those rare moments when he seems low-keyed, as in the poem "No Labor-Saving Machine," he is very modest. He said, well, all I have done is leave a few poems, few carols for my comrades and lovers. The carols. These carols, of course, I leave the grass, right? Leave the grass. And leave the grass, and the purpose that precedes that poem, that book, he talks about the poetics of the body. Of course, Whitman, writing in the age of manifest destiny, is never free from a sort of American ego, American nationalism. He does talk about that. But he also tries to turn nature, turn the concrete, turn the body into a song of America. So Whitman seems to be, well, on one hand, he is his strong ego. He seems to be very, to me, imperial or even imperialistic. On the other hand, he seems to be truly democratic. He's a complex, a combination of both. But his politics, his effort to bring the real world into our life, to bring the body into our life, deserves our admiration. In the age of manifest destiny in American Renaissanism, it is hardly possible. It would be it is hardly possible for so central a poem, a song of myself, to be untouched by the national vision of empire building. Indeed, the simple business of song of myself is, one must not overlook the obvious. I lost my page. I misnumbered my page, so I can't find it. Okay, the central message is, of course, the building of America as an independent nation, that can rival Europe. Okay. But on the other hand, he also uses the body. He also privileged the body, make it so prominent as never before. In his second edition of Grass, he has this letter to Emerson, saying that unless we talk about sex, American literature has no future. This really shocked Emerson. But the body. to put my pages in order and see if I can find that page. I'm missing it. Okay, I can't find it, so I'll just go ahead and read something else. I'll read a few points, okay, from Whitman. I have 3 examples here. The first example, of course, is his poem, "There Was a Child Went Forth." Okay, there was a child went forth. The poetics of the body is truly egocentric in that the poet or the writer, humans, by the way we live, we change the environment. So we inscribe upon the environment. But on the other hand, the environment also inscribes us as a mutual inscribed. This inscriber is inscribed in return. There was a child went forth is a good example. Okay. I'll read from the poem. There was a child went forth every day, and the first object he looked upon, that object he became. So he's inscribed and shaped by the object environment. And that object became part of him for the day, or a certain part of the day, or for many years, or stretching cycles of years. The early lilac became part of the child, a grass, and white and red morning glories, and white and red clover, and the song of a free bird, and the third month lambs, and the sow's pink faint litter, and the mare's foal, and the cow's cow, and the fish, suspending themselves so curiously below, there, all become part of him, all become part of the child. These became part of the child who went forth every day, who now goes and will always go forth every day. Now, I call this reverse inscribing, because we humans, by living in this space, turn this space into a place we call Hòa Văn, we call New York. We turn the space into a place. When we turn the space into a place, we inscribe, we shape the place, the environment. But in return, as a child, as demonstrated, we are inscribed by the environment. So it's mutual, it's a fusion. It's a mind and body fusion. This is reverse inscribing, a reverential recognition of the power and influence of nature. It also represents a deeper understanding of the oneness of man and his environment. But the concept of environment here is a general, diffuse, unspecified one. When it is more sharply focused and specified, a sense of place, which can be politically charged, arises. And I speak this with great fear in this environment, in Taiwan especially. When you talk about sense of place, inevitably, we are treating on very delicate terrain. Independence, nation, local, very sensitive. Okay. But in the child went forth, the place is unspecified, general. However, in the poem, Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, that's different. That's different. The environment in crossing the Brooklyn Ferry is specific enough to warrant a more politically charged sense of place, though in this specific case, it carries only mild political implications of shared identity. The reframing in the poem, it avails not, time nor place, distance avails not, is built upon shared experiences in the same place and environment, that of Manhattan. The shared experiences are, quote, the ties between me and them, unquote, that defy time and space.